Welcome to the Uncomfortable Podcast, where we transform discomfort into a healing dialogue. In a world where we often feel pressure to present only the polished aspect of our lives, this podcast serves as a sanctuary for the real, the raw, and the messy. Here we embrace the echoes that true healing begins when we dare to vocalize our struggles. Our conversations are more than just talks. They are pathways to liberation and understanding. Each episode is an invitation to our listeners to join into a journey of vulnerability and honesty. We dove into a myriad of topics, navigating through the complexities of emotions, experiences, and often unspoken challenges that shape our lives. At the Uncomfortable Podcast, we don't just scratch the surface. We dive deep, encouraging our guests and listeners alike to release and speak their truth. It's a place where laughter and tears coexist, where stories and adversities become testimonies of resilience. Join us as we find comfort in the uncomfortable and discover that speaking out is the first step to healing. This is not just a podcast, it is a movement towards embracing our inner selves, imperfections included. Tune in as we journey together, speaking our way into healing and transformation. Welcome to the Uncomfortable Podcast. I am your host, Johanna B. Zeno. We are here yet another week. Listen, y'all been rocking and rolling with us, and I appreciate y'all. I love the feedback. I love all of the testimonies. I just love everything it is that y'all doing as we're still continuing on the 21 days of Snitches Get Healed. Like, y'all done bought us all out. Y'all had to reorder some more books, but that's a good thing. That just lets me know that people are really serious about taking control and taking the narrative of their healing journey within their own power. So I love it. It is amazing. So if you have not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, go ahead and do so. You can find us at Joe B. Zeno on YouTube, or if not, Johanna B. Zeno on our Facebook page. Make sure it's a Facebook page, y'all. That is where you're going to be able to get all your notifications, your updates, everything it is that we have going on. And let me just go ahead and say, it is Women's History Month in this month of March. I'm so excited for us empowered women. We're leading forefront. We're celebrating one another. I just love it. Y'all just continue to do what y'all doing. So on tonight, we are covering our day 10. Y'all, we already on day 10. Can you believe it? I know I can't believe it. I'm still in awe of just everything. So if you're following us, you know that day 10 is called A Portrait of Unconditional Love. Oh my God. Unconditional love, that can just be a whole story within itself. But if you're following, then you know we are focusing in on Hosea and Gomorrah, and we all know her history and her story with her husband. But one of the things that we're able to discover and see in that part of the Bible is his unconditional love for his wife. If you have not already read it, then you know that she was an adulterous woman. God told him, hey, go get your wife, despite of all her unfaithfulness. But it was because of his unconditional love for her that he was able to restore their marriage and restore their union and really truly be able to see her for who she is. So on tonight, I have a special guest who we're going to be unpacking A Portrait of Unconditional Love. So go ahead, give an uncomfortable podcast welcome to our guest, Mr. Christopher George Sr. Woo!
What's going on? I'm so blessed and honored to be here. Yeah. Thank you for having me. I haven't been in this setting in about 2 years, so I'm good with everything. The lights on, videos recorded, and I'm just ready to unpack this unconditional love topic.
Yeah, we go rock and we go roll. So, Chris, can you go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone, all of our listeners and viewers?
Yes, my name is Christopher George Sr. I'm from Crowley, Louisiana. Stand up. Originally born in Los Angeles, though. So, but I rep Crowley to the death of me. So I'm from Crowley, a small town Crowley, man. I'm a great father, husband, community leader in my church, a church leader. So I'm an all around great man. You know, stand for righteousness and I'll go to war behind righteousness. People know, if you know, you know.
If you know,
so,
then you know.
And, they call me the big step in Crowley, so going the good way. So, I'm the big stepper, and people know, so
Come on, big stepper.
You hear me? Turn me up now.
Listen, I am here for it. So on tonight, we are talking about a portrait of unconditional love.
Yes.
So I know that love can cover like a whole umbrella of different things, but I think what makes unconditional love, putting it in its own lane within itself. So when you think, or what would you say or describe unconditional love to be?
Man, unconditional love is, I would say, when you have to love someone when you don't want to. You have to love someone through their mess, through their bad times. It's easy to do it through the good times.
Yeah.
But it's through the bad times when you have to love them.
Yeah.
And especially when you're married,
True.
that's when it's that unconditional love,
Yeah.
But that's why it's so important to be equally yoked.
Yeah.
Because I firmly believe you're equally yoked. That unconditional love is easy because you don't have to put that forth. That
right.
Routinely, Yeah, but when you're not equally yoked, you might have to find yourself having
think about some stuff too much.
Yeah. So I think just loving someone is comfortable. And in spite of. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what ties into our topic of, with Hosea and his wife. Yeah. Like, homegirl was out there doing what she was doing. But even in that unfaithfulness, it's like she was unfaithful to her husband. And many a times we are unfaithful even to God. But if we are just to be honest, just within our human form and everyday just living, there are so many people who are just unfaithful to us.
Yes.
And not because they choose to be. Yes. It's just because, you go to the term that says hurt people hurt people. Yes. We have so many hurt people that are out here, and they do not have a sense or even know what love is, or their form of love comes by way of abuse. Yeah. So they they bleed on others through that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So with what I'm hearing with you, and have there ever been an experience to where your unconditional love has ever been tried by fire?
So back in 2022, I ran for public office in Raleigh, and one of the things is, first of all, let me tell you, if you're not ready to have your life on the line and in front of people, don't run for public office. But running for public office, man, they try to really slander my name and my character, and people knew what I was about, so it was one of the instances, and I'm gonna be transparent with you, to where they was trying to get, they was trying to get with my children's mom to say that I raped her, and that's how we got our son.
Oh wow!
Because they had nothing on me, and they knew I stood for something. They had to do that, so they didn't have nothing on me. So one day, my son came home with bad grades, and I punished him, told him to go in the room, and we stayed like not far from his mom, because I moved back to Crowley to run for public office. So while I left to go blow some steam off, because he had really angered me with his grades, so I just punished him, and I told him, stay in your room, but you can watch TV. Now, how many people get punished in our household?
We get stripped from everything. Just look at the wall.
Right. So I said, you can watch TV, but while I left, I didn't know, knowing this after, they called their mom on the phone and conspired with her to leave the next morning, right? So it was like a tornado the following morning. And I think it was the last day of school, second to last day of school. And I noticed what woke me up, my door was open. And, it was kind of slammed. So I'm like, where the kids at? Didn't find the kids, and none of that. So long story short, they had conspired with their mom. She called the cops and said I was beating my son.
Oh, my goodness.
And what really took a turn with my heart is I had to get a lawyer. I had to pay $10,000. Right. And mind you, I'm running for public. That's why I say, if you're not ready to run for public office, I had to pay $10,000 for my lawyer. He got the body cam footage. I still have the body cam footage on my phone. To hear my son say the things he said on the body cam footage, and to hear my daughter say some of the things she said, but it was mostly my son when the cop said, well, your dad gonna go to jail, and he was just like, I don't care, just get my charge out the room. And I'm like, bro, I'm your father. Like, I'm the one reason, well, through God, I'm the reason why you're here. I'm the reason why you get on 707. You know, I provide for you. I give you everything. Like, you don't have no needs, you know?
Yeah.
And to hear him say that it really hurt me, for one. Because you're going against someone who's always been there for you. Like, I've never missed nothing.
Yeah.
I never had a father.
You showed up.
I show up for everything. Everything. You know, I work with him through his grades, through everything. So to hear him say that, man, that hurt me. So I showed him that, and to this day, he realized how much it could have went bad with me, because I'm honest. I'm open and honest with my kids.
Yeah.
So I told him, like, man, I could have went to jail. Like, this is on my record now that I got to get expunged now. So that's more money. And they dismissed it.
Yeah.
You know, but it was political as usual. But I think they promised her, look, we can get your kids back. Just do this for us.
Yeah.
So she teamed up with the people that I was running against. And mind you, before that, I had went up against some people to shut a homeless shelter down that was trying to put in our neighborhood. And I said no. So those people, including my opponent, went to her, and she conspired. And I believe even if it was the old chief of police, because he had to send a report up, because the cops gave me my children back from the police department. We had to go there. So he recorded everything, but somehow they didn't have the body cam footage whenever they went to court of us talking, somehow. But
it's a conspiracy.
It was dismissed.
Yeah.
But during that time, I was so disappointed in my son. And he knew better, but I blame his mom because she's I got sole custody of my kids, everyone, both of them, son and daughter. So that tells you what type of father I am, because it's rarely you see a man with sole custody of his children, but I have them. So I thank God for that, because that was on my vision board. We'll get to that later about write it down and make it plain. But that was on my vision board for years. I had to pray and fast. And when people ask me, hey, how did you get sole custody? First question I ask, are you sure you're ready? Because you can ask God for something, but the process.
Are you ready for
I had to go through $1,046 a month child support. People don't know that. And I was like, God, why me? Why me? But that's off topic. But
but that's true, because so many people are really going and experiencing that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say that even from like with Terrence and I, because everyone know that we are a blended family. But I know that to be true because a lot of similarities from what you're saying and experience, we have experienced as well. And so I know it firsthand.
Yeah, and the courts, listen. But anyway, that's a whole nother topic.
Nother topic.
So I showed him that, and to this day he breaks down because he realized how much he hurt me. And it hurts him to know he hurt me. Yeah. Because he's seen me cry. I'm like, Chris, I can't believe you would do that.
And he's your junior.
And he's my junior. And to see him say, oh, I don't care, just make sure you get my charger out the Who bought you the charger?
Yeah. But it just goes to show how even with our kids, they're so easily influenced.
They are.
And if we do not have that hard posture and really truly that firm foundation, I want to say, who was it that I was listening to? It was someone. We're in doing spiritual growth track, and we were talking about the book of Daniel and how at the beginning, as my tongue twists, but how he went and he got the best of the young kids and tried to get them to conform to his culture and his kingdom of things. But it was because of what was embedded and rooted on the inside of them that they never turned. And even though your son had went through what he went through, in all retrospective of things, he never turned because he's able to now sympathize with how my dad felt in that moment.
And through that time, I told two of my brothers, Dwight and Alvin, and they talked to him, but I never whipped him. I never punished him. I didn't do nothing to him. And that kind of blew his mind, like
that's unconditional
like,
love.
What in the world? I messed up. My dad know I messed up. He see I messed up, and nothing. I told him, I still love you.
I still love you.
I love you.
That's unconditional.
I know
love
you.
right
I
there.
know Chris, but I love you.
Yeah,
And
it can be hard at
it
times.
was.
With these kids. I be like,
because I wanted, but what I would have punished them and spanked them, like it
what would
wouldn't
that prove?
right. So I just chose to go the unorthodox route and just show you like this is love, Chris.
Yeah.
Even though you could have hurt me, like thank God I was asleep because on the body cam footage you could see the cops come to my house and knock on my door. My door was open. If I answered the door, I was going to jail. You know, because like just looking at the body cam footage, like okay, well we about to go arrest them. I was asleep. You know, thank God for that, because that would have went bad, you know. But all from people trying to conspire against me. But through all that, Chris, I still love you. Yeah. And I told him in that soft tone. Yeah. I still love you.
And at the end of the day, how Romans 8:28 tells us that all things, regardless of what it looks like or what it feels like, when we're going through those different processes and those healing journeys, believing without a shadow of doubt that it's going to work for my good. Yeah. I don't like it. No. I don't like the feeling of it. I don't want to deal with it. It's like, and it makes you question, like, why we even gotta go through this?
And mind you, I got a call. I'm great friends with someone at the news station, right? So they called me, and Golden was right on the side of me. And I'm like, she was like, Chris, you told me this was gonna happen. So I just want to reach out to you and tell you it's happening. Yeah. But I want to get your side because they're telling me to report on it, but they're not telling me the source. Yeah. I'm like, of course they wouldn't. So I was on TV, blasted. And guess who the first one made a comment on that charge? My opponent. Come on now, the proof is in the pudding. But anyway. So
that's politics for you, huh?
Right. So I was put on TV for this. And Chris seen it, you know, so he was like, man, that's why I tell you, if I can show Chris, like if I bring up anything about this, he'll start breaking down. Because he realized, man, I did you wrong, Dad. Yeah. And you didn't even do nothing to me. Yeah. But I conspired and you still said you love me. Yeah. Like you didn't fuss at me, you didn't do nothing, but you said you love me.
Yeah. And during that time, like what was like your brotherhood? Because, you know, many times, like, people on a day-to-day basis are really experiencing that. But because they do not have a community or just a inner circle of people who can just really, truly just ride for them and support them, intercede for them. Yes. But, like, what did your brotherhood and community look like during that time?
I had a great brotherhood to this day. So, shout out to, I got a few shout-outs, y'all. So, shout out to Dwight Thomas, shout out to Cody, shout out to PC, Cajun Trap House, they're nominated for one of the great. Shout out to Reddy, shout out to Demarie, shout out to Elder Brian Carmouche, I call him Pops. I actually adopted him and Miss Sharice as my godparents.
Oh, listen, I love
y'all are my godparents.
They give the best hugs.
They are. So shout out to my godparents. Shout out to Elder Gary. Shout out to Elder Paul Green Sr. Shout out to Chief Benoit. Shout out to my great pastor, Pastor Ken Lazard. Shout out to Key. Shout out to Alvin, Shug.
Oh, that's a tribe right there.
My brother-in-law, Trey. My Uncle Buggy. My Uncle Chester. My Uncle Rookie. My cousin, that I can't shout him out because people, but he got, shout out to you because we talk. You know what we talking about. Shout out to another one, you know, one of my private people that called me. You know, a bunch of these people, a few of them from the street, and you know, but I'm still connected. You know, but I don't let people know that we're connected. Yeah. You know, because political reasons. But shout out to him. Shout out to Clint Crater. He ran for mayor too. Okay. Shout out to Dr. Paul. Shout out to Casey and my brother Terrence who just prayed a phenomenal prayer for this.
Come on, tribe.
Right.
I don't think we need to explain that because we just got the whole list.
Yeah. So shout out to all of them, man. They have been very influential in my life, and I can call them, especially my pop, my godfather, Elder Brian, man, my Uncle Buggy, man. I've been actually grew up watching them play dominoes every Wednesday. Now I'm playing dominoes with them, you know, and they give it's wisdom around the table because they all retired, and that's all I try to surround myself around is people with wisdom, you know. So all those people. Especially my pastor, Pastor Ken and Chief Benoit, they was one of them very influential during my election process because they called because they went through that and they taught me how to navigate it. That's why it was hard to shut up. You know, I couldn't defend myself, but I understood.
Yeah.
And it's in that understanding where it's uncomfortable. But looking at now, I understood why.
Yeah.
Because God gonna handle it. It got dismissed.
Yeah.
But all those people surrounded me, man. It just, they was there for me. They pick up the phone, like they was there for me, speaking life for me. They'll go to war for me, like without a shadow of a doubt. Like that, don't put your hands on me. But I got people
chopping no ear around here.
Really will go to war for me, spiritually, mentally, and physically.
Yeah.
You know, that came with growth and relationship and time. You know, like we built that whole list I can call right now and they're there for me.
Yeah.
You know, like Elder Gary, like seeing me grow. He tell me all the time, man, he's proud of me because he chastised me one time and he said, man, you had every reason to leave the church, but you didn't. You stayed 10 toes down. And you know, he actually gave me a kiss on the forehead as a son, and I viewed that was so like he don't know to this day, like it was so like it was an emotional moment for me, but I held it together because I was in church. But to get that, never have a father, but experience father love from these men. Yeah. And the kiss on the forehead and say, I'm proud of you, son. Like I never would hear that, you know. So I love it. That my tribe is what hold me down, you know. And they don't want to show me unconditional love. Elder Brian, you know, like if I mess up, he's gonna let me know. Like, hey, what you doing? Come accountability. Yeah, and especially my pastor, he holds me to a standard. He has taught me, you know, showing unconditional love actually ties into humility. Yeah. You know, and my pastor has told me, I don't want to ever hear you walking without humility. Yeah. He won't play about that. Yeah. And I've always carried myself around. I had to go through things inside of church, and I just handle it with humility. And if I'm wrong, and grace. Yeah. Woo! Listen, y'all have a lot of grace. Grace y'all say plenty. But I think with God and just, you have to want to do it.
It's the want. Yeah. It is in the want. Yeah. And that is what I do believe. Many don't want it. They say they want it, but they don't have the works and the actions to back it up.
And you be like, oh no.
And that perseverance and that long suffering. Yes. Ooh, that long suffering, child.
And that's why when Elder Gary did that, he still speaks life into me every time. When he does that, when he did that, it's like, man, all that was worth it. Yeah. Because he's an elder. He didn't get there freely. Overnight. He had to walk through some things. Yeah. So seeing people, having my tribe see me walk through some things and taking the correction. I'm a grown man. That's what people, you know, I'm a grown man. Who are you to tell, you know? But that comes from not having a father figure. So you don't know how to be chastised. Yeah. You said the first thing you accept it. So I took it. Man, Elder Gary, listen. If y'all know Elder Gary is straightforward. And Pastor Mike. Shout out Pastor Mike.
Yeah, and I love it. And one of the scriptures it made me think of, I believe it's out of John 13:7. It says, when Jesus was talking to the disciples, he said, you do not understand what I'm doing now, but later you will. Yeah. And it's in that now, it's like life is falling apart. It is everywhere. I am losing my mind. Yes. What the heck is going on? People coming from me. And then to know that you're sitting and you literally did not lift a finger. You did not do anything. No wrong, no nothing. You just showed up in your true, raw, transparent, vulnerable form. And to know that I'm being attacked for it. I'm having things attached to me for it. Being called out my name, being, my character being attacked. And all I can do is just, by way of the Holy Spirit, shut it up.
Be quiet.
And take it.
Because opening your mouth kind of worsen it.
It's going to make it even worse.
And then people are not, they'll believe a lie first. And you have to show them the truth, beat the truth down into them, but they will believe a lie first. People will know you for years and believe a lie first. You know, so that's the people you don't need around you, that's going to just believe anything about you.
I call that healthy confrontation. Yeah. If you're not able to have a healthy confrontation with someone, then am I talking to a fool? Like, I like that's really what I have to start asking myself. Like, if I cannot come to you not just as a grown individual, but a Christ-like minded believer, if I cannot come to you and have a conversation, do we need to even be doing life together?
Right, exactly. And you have to be mindful of that, because you cannot let everybody in.
Right.
Because some people motives and their intentions are not pure.
It's just not
and
pure.
I have a good heart. I have listen, I'm a giver and I'm a servant. So some people take advantage of that.
Yeah.
But God has given me the wisdom and the discernment to really know now. I can spot you. I'm gonna give you a chance, but I already know what it's hitting for.
I'm gonna let you play yourself.
Exactly.
And let me tell you, because I grew up where I grew up. I'm a streets girl.
Yeah. Right.
People won't think it because they see me who I am today.
Yeah.
But I'm like, baby, it's a lot of grace and mercy that has really truly been following me.
Yeah.
But one of the things that my dad taught me when I was younger is like, you can't BS a BSer.
Yeah. Right.
And I'm going to always be 2-3 steps ahead of you. So I know how to use that in the street, but I've also learned how to use that in my spiritual walk when it comes to discernment.
Yep.
So I've always been able to ask God, give me that discernment and Holy Spirit just continue to reveal to me to where I can see it before I see it.
Of course, I play crazy. I love playing crazy. I'm act like I don't know, but like I tell people, man, I'm from Crowley, and people really don't understand that. That means like we're different that way, like you just have to be there to, like I'm from Crowley, like you can't play me, like I know what it is. Coming from a mile away, I'll sit there and I've changed. I will not speak beforehand.
Right.
I'm gonna let you play yourself.
Yeah. And
that's all I'm gonna do.
And that's what I learned from my daddy, who in and out of jail, prison, and so on. But those were one of the things that he taught me.
Yeah.
At a very young age. Now, when I was younger, I didn't use it for good.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But growing up and just being able to navigate through life, and then too, whenever you do, turn your your life around, and now I'm Christ-like.
Yeah.
I'm able to use that now to say, oh, and let me just say this too. I know we use the word street, but one of the things that I love about my upbringing is I think I'm very versatile. I can sit down with Pookie and them and Keisha and them, hear this conversation. I don't care if
you're
you
relatable.
smell like, I don't care if you smell like I don't care what it is. I don't care how many baby daddies you got, what issues you got going on. Sis, what's going on?
Yeah, and that's how I was so effective during the political phase, because I was still, I know people.
Yeah.
So I know the street people, and that's why I dress the way I dress, I talk the way I talk. It's cool to be a leader.
It is.
It's cool to go to church.
It is.
It's cool to run for political office. It's cool to be different, and I'm relatable. So I have people from the street that will call me and tell me some things, like, hey, bro, like, nah, don't do that, bro, because they wasn't for you whenever, you know what I'm saying? And so I listen, because wisdom coming all, just because you run the street don't mean God will put some on your heart. You can call me and I won't accept it, because you run the street. Nah, God ain't talk to you. Yeah, he did. Nah, and I respect that. And I thank you for calling me. So, but I will admit I forgot. I'm so sorry, Joanna. When you said my trial, man, I want to shout out my wife, man, because she's been with me.
I was coming there too.
God put it on my heart. Like, hey, bro, you forgot to. So through all that, man, shout out my wife, Golden, man. As y'all can see, my 18 neighbors shirt, Blessing Spark by my wife, Golden. Golden's on the back. So shout out to her, man. She's been a very, a Christ-like. She's been like Jesus inside me. She's brought me balance. She's brought me peace. She's brought me joy. She's brought me happiness. She's brought me just complete. She's just brought me completion. And she's done that by being her. Yeah. And I love her for being her. Because what she told me what stuck out, and she said, babe, I trust you, I'll follow you wherever. And when it's easy to love somebody and do life with somebody like that. Whenever, and it's like, I never had that before. Like, she just tell me, babe, I trust you. Yeah.
And it takes a lot from us women to say that.
and she and I know she don't just say it just to say it. She said it, so therefore I had to change some of my ways in dealing with like unconditional love, like some things from her past I didn't like. I had to cover that with love. I still love you, babe. Yeah. So, and some things from my past, I'm far from perfect. You know, I just thank God for His grace. And I tell her stories all the time, and I'll be like,
yeah,
hey, God saved me from this. So, you know, she's brought me a lot, man, and I would be remiss if I didn't let the viewers know how much my wife means to me. And she, you know, she means a lot if I wear them on today. You know, because she even has my location,
with
right?
Here.
So she has been very influential of why I am the man you see now. I'm very peaceful. I'm very soft spoken, you know, and even though I'm the leader and the man in the marriage and the husband, you know, I still respect her authority.
Yeah.
As wife. You know, and I learned that. But it's so easy when somebody say, babe, I trust you and I submit to you. Like that. I'm like, babe, cool. So I had to, you know,
the whole
shift. Yeah, because I'm not used to that. So I'm like, okay, right. So we're blended family also. So when my kids would come and vice versa, we'd be like, nope. Go ask Miss Golden.
Yeah.
Nope. Whatever Miss Golden said, that's what it is.
And that's what it is.
That's what it is.
Don't ask twice.
We're not deviating. Go ask her. And I allowed her to use her authority, and I sit back. I can use mine.
Because you're the woman of the house anyway.
Right.
So at the end of the day, it's really what you say.
Go. Right. So I just let her do her thing, you know, and I'm there for support whenever. Like I tell them, if it gets to me, it's too late. It's too late. You know, so. Yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to thank my wife, man. Who's been very influential and very life-saving since the little time we've known each other, man. I feel like we know each other. She's my best friend. Aww. Like we have our own handshake. You know, so she's quiet, but don't let that fool y'all. She's very powerful. And you know, a lot of people see a smaller version person, you know, and they think, you know, they're so timid, they're this and that, but like,
it's their perception.
I'd be like, y'all can play with my wife if y'all want. Like, she quiet with some glasses on, but she's a stepper.
It's like when you start looking over them glasses.
Yeah.
When you're the quiet one.
Yeah, she's been great. Yeah. So shout out to my wife.
I love it. You know, I had someone when me and Terrence did a counseling session before. They said, like, you know, like with the man, he's the head, but with us as women, we're the neck, and we do all the adjustments. Yeah. We're the ones that adjust. And that's why I said at the end of the day, we go have the final say. Because with men, you know, you the head, but when a lot of the decisions and things are made or what needs to be done when it comes to the household, it really comes from us. And I love that with us as women, because we really truly can just be who we are as women and show up and being the helpmate and just be like, oh, babe, come here. Let me fix your collar.
Yes.
Let me just adjust you a little bit. And with saying that, like, how do you, Chris, find balance for yourself in it all?
I have to start saying no.
Yeah.
That's how I
That's a sentence too. That's a complete sentence.
Nope, not doing it. Nope, not going. I need me time. Yeah. Because I've shifted a lot from going through what I went through in Crowley, and my kids were seeing, man, I have 3 or 4 meetings a week. Yeah. So, you know, my kids was in school. I'm like, I'll be back. I'm going to this meeting. I'm going to this council meeting. I'm going to this meeting with this person, meeting with that person, going through this with the nonprofit, meeting with them. And it's like I find myself spread thin. Everywhere. And then when stuff I had to see for myself, you know, after I was defeated by 1 vote. But, you know, that's a whole different podcast. But a lot of people seen what I went through that being cheated, you know. So, and then leaving them and not giving them enough of me. So I've learned now to be like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. I went through that. God showed me, you know, He allowed certain things to happen. And now I get joy in being around my kids. You know, all 4 of them, you know, Chris, Anaya, Leland, Dylan. You know, that's what I do. So I feel like I poured so much into other people that I had to say no, shut it down, and for me, start pouring into my own family. Yeah. You know, because we get caught up in trying to save everybody. And then your house is in a wreck. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you try to do all this, and your house is in a wreck. Yeah. Your kids are, you know, misbehaving, or thank God our kids are not, but it's just a example. But I had to really I can pour all this energy into my kids, you know, and then be in their life, you know. So even our youngest, little Dylan, she looks for me for everywhere. She have a track meet tomorrow. they said you coming. I'm like, I can't say no because the first thing they're
you
gonna say
can't say
is,
no to babies.
where's Mr. Chris?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I like that. I love that. You know, because they expect me to show up because they know I'm gonna show up. That's the type of father and husband I am. You know, so that's my no. I say no to the world, and I pour it all in my family. So that's how I adjust it.
And at the end of the day, our home is our first ministry.
Yes.
How it doesn't matter like what we do on the outside. How are we showing up and representing ourselves when it comes to our kids? And we tell our kids this all the time. It's not a matter of what someone asks you in front of us, but what they ask you behind our backs. That's gonna be your truth. So we want to make sure that we keep integrity, we keep, legacy going. But at the same time, I don't want to have to alter what you say behind my back because of what other people will say. But making sure that we're showing up and being present, and really truly living out, what we expect for you to say in person. But also to understanding that I'm your parent at the end of the day. You ain't gonna like everything I do. And one of the debates that me and my oldest daughter had is like, I tell her, I'm like, I'm not your friend. And I think like it's so hard sometimes to say that because like I want to be friendly, but at the end of the day, I am not your friend. I am your parent. And you're not gonna like everything I say or everything that I do, the things I don't let you do, because I have to parent you, and that looks different than what a friend is.
I think, and then that too with unconditional love, we've created avenues to where our children can come talk to us. We did Sunday meetings where we open up. Y'all can say what y'all want to say respectfully to us. You know what you like and what you don't like. You know, so and we just gave them that avenue because I remember, back in the day we didn't have no avenues.
It's what I said.
It's what I said. But it really helped us. But it was like we didn't have an out. Because I could have, there's a bunch of things I didn't like coming up, but we didn't have an outlet. Because it was, what do I say? But these kids, you have to parent them different because times change, so you have to present grace in a different way. Look at 20 years ago.
Oh, that gentle parenting. Oh my God.
Right.
Taking me out for real though.
It's like, no, everybody get on your knees. Everybody. And I've shown grace. Like my wife had brought me to this soft spot now to where it's like, I give a lot of grace. A lot. Listen, on purpose. I have every reason sometimes to go off. But I give them grace. Okay, babe.
And then it's being like that unconditional love. Because like when we think about God and how we are his children, we are not as faithful to him. No. We don't listen to him. We don't do the very things he made plain in front of us to do. So I've had to start to learn how to look at my kids through the lens of how God even sees us. And that'd be the hard part. I'd be like, you really out here loving us, bro?
Yeah, for real. Despite of,
like, you really out here loving us.
He could have took us some time ago.
He could have called me home.
Probably
not even going home. Like, I be thinking about stuff like that. But I also, to understand, like, with our kids, all the pressure, the peer pressure, just their social being of things, and how there is so much that our kids are going through. And what saddens my heart so many times is because our kids have it, but there are so many who don't.
Who don't have it, right? And they're blessed to have us. And then you, like me, I have to learn. I've learned how to say no, Chris. That's not your fight. Because I want to save everybody. I want to do all of this, but I have to tell myself no. Look the other way. Because it's easy for me to, hey man, I'll get my number, shoot. I'll be there for you. I'll be your mentor. But it's like I have to tell myself no. So seeing people that have it and seeing people who don't, that's why I'm very tough on Black fathers, because don't give me an excuse of why you can't, because I've been having my kids since 2019 January, by myself some of the time, and I didn't make no excuse, so it can be done. You just have to want to do it for your kids. You have to put them in a position to win, and because you wasn't put in a position to win. So that's, and just loving them through all their faults. Man, they're kids, they're children. So that's when your unconditional love gonna kick in. That's why I say I've been through so much in a short amount of time. I'm only 38, but I've been through a lifetime of stuff. I can write a book. I'm gonna write a book later, but I've been through a lot of stuff. That I had to just choose love, and the people that did the things they did to me during the election. You know, I just made a post about the stuff was dismissed, but the thing I said was I forgive y'all.
That's it. That's it.
I don't have nothing against y'all. Y'all, I mean, y'all, we're not best of friends.
Yeah.
You know, but I forgive y'all, and I pray that y'all turn away from y'all evil ways.
Yeah.
Because it will come back.
Child,
it probably not get you, but you have kids. They have kids. They might have kids. So you need to turn from evil ways and ask for forgiveness. Because they did some things that, I mean, I have morals. I would never stoop to that.
Yeah.
If I have to stoop that low, I wouldn't do it. And the position, they did all this, and the position paid $10,132 a year. Yes, a year. They did all that for that much. And I'm like, I was not doing it for the money. I spent the $10,000 just on the lawyer. So I spent your whole just for y'all to do that. You know, it's like it wasn't worth it in the end. You know, having to go through this alone. I had my tribe, but in the public, I was alone.
Yeah.
Seeing people see me, and I had people tell me, man, if you'd had some people behind you. You know who I had behind me? Some women. Salute to the women, man, because they will always stand up for something.
Yeah.
But it be our men, and that's why I'm so hard on our black men, bro. Like, we have to get out the fear, get out of the scared of the, and just stand, because we have strength in numbers.
Yeah. Oh, I believe it.
You know, and it's
I
like,
really truly believe it.
That's why people try to divide us so much whenever they see black men come together. So that's another topic too. But, yeah.
And it's good to hear that, is because we're talking about unconditional love, and some people, even though they have it by God, they'll never experience it among a physical. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I tell my kids all the time is that I don't want to like put it on them like with pressure, like you're loved, you have this, you have that, because I always want them to have a heart posture of being humble.
Yeah.
But at the same time, who you are right now is what you're going to feed to others later. Yeah. So make sure that what you're sitting to the table and what you're eating is going to be some good fruit, and some good food for people later on. Yeah. And whenever you said something about like what they're doing and the seeds that they're planting, because they have kids, we understand like why the generational curses of things continue even to this day. And it's not us really fighting them, but this is a whole spiritual warfare that we're in. And if we are not interceding and then have a community of people who interceding on ourselves, then it can make it seem like we're really truly fighting this war by ourselves. Child, that's depressing.
Yeah, it is. So just think about all the people who don't get unconditional love, get judged, don't have a tribe, and want a tribe, but then when they're not trained to take correction. Give me correction.
Oh, give it to me.
Because I feel like when I give correction, I expect somebody to receive it. So if I'm out of line, correct me. You know, so.
And I want to be corrected.
Yeah,
of course. I remain teachable. I'm always a student at life. Yeah. Because I don't have it all.
We don't.
And another thing I tell my kids all the time is, I'll be 37 this year. I know y'all look young. I'll be 37 this year, and my oldest is 17. I've never been 37 with a 17-year-old and a 14-year-old and a 4-year-old at the same time. So that's still things I'm learning, even as a mother, but also too as a woman. So as I'm growing and y'all growing, we have to learn how to give each other grace and mercy and understanding. Because I'm not going to get it right all the time. You're not going to get it right. But as long as we keep that open line of communication and that channel of grace and mercy, we will be just fine.
And you know what I've learned doing? Just to have my kids do the same. I want them to show unconditional love. I apologize now when I'm wrong.
Yeah.
You know, we never got an apology. We never got an apology from our parents. They were not... But I apologize.
Let me tell you, you know how they apologize? They come in your room and be like, what you want to eat?
Right.
Are we going to McDonald's?
Yeah.
That was their way of apologizing.
Like, no. Sit down and apologize. Tell me you sorry. You know, when I'm wrong, I apologize. Yeah. And I think that it's just, they respect you a lot more, and they handle, when the correction comes, they know, okay, well, I did do wrong. You know, they don't, he's always fussing, he's always, because if I'm wrong, I'm going to apologize.
As my oldest one, you always, but I'm like, I'm not fussing.
We just want you
to can fuss now. I ain't fussing.
Right.
I'm just correcting.
Right, because your room not clean. That's all we know. But I still love you, though.
I
Your room
still
not clean.
love
You
you.
didn't do what I tell you to do today. The dish is still dirty. The pot's still in the refrigerator. The forks and spoons is mysteriously walking out of the house. But I still love you.
We not the only ones.
No. I still love you.
What do these kids be doing with these forks and spoons? It's a mystery. Like, if someone ever figure out what it is, like even the bowls and the sauces, I'm like,
yeah. Like, hey, who had this? Not me. I do not like not me. Not me if I ever catch you. I promise.
That not me somewhere out there. It's in everybody's household. It's like omnipresent.
Not me is always present, man. Like, you don't pay no bills, but you always at people's house. Yep.
We don't even see you.
Right.
One day we go catch you though.
One day, not me, and I'm telling you.
Man, but I just love it. And let me just say, I've even learned so much about you because I know we would see each other, you know, like with ministry and at church, but just to hear your story and some of the things that you have experienced, it's like I would have never known.
Yeah. And I don't give people, I'm very private. So when I seen the podcast, I'm like, you know, I want to tell my story, but sometimes it's a time and a place. Yeah. I always believe it's a time and a place. So I just felt, you know, I'm rare. If you know me, if you're in my inner man, I'm transparent. You can't be transparent with everyone. Like you can't be vulnerable to everyone. You know, so you have to find those people that you can put in your holies of holies that won't judge you and will cover you. You know, I love that about me. You know, when people really get to see me, because you see me on the class, but I'm always and sometimes I have a face on that's a very I think a lot. So sometimes my thinking face is not a happy face, and people, you know, smile, but it's like I'm happy, I'm good. You know, but,
it's just my face.
And I love So I love when people get these moments to know Chris, know my heart, and know what's bottled up inside me and what God put in me, and just to see me in a different light. I love these moments. You know, so that's one of the my highlights too. I love to, you know, just give people a little insight of my life and the man that they see on Facebook, on Instagram, TikTok, in church, in the community. I just love to give them just a little bit of what I've been through. Just a little bit, not too much. You know, when I write my book, I'm gonna write about a lot, man. I've been through a lot.
As you should.
A lot.
You should.
You know, having my mom die in 2011 from cancer, and that was on rock, man. At 25, I lost my mom, so it's like, how do I navigate to never having a father in my life? You know, it's like, how do I navigate? I didn't know how to show love. I didn't know how to handle my emotions, you know. So when I got children, I thank God for them because they taught me how to love, you know, and just being there for them and being a great father and then being a great husband, you know. So God He's true when He say He'll be the father to the fatherless, the mother to the motherless. He put brothers in my life. He put big sisters in my life. You know, shout out to Miss Latika, Miss Jackie. Man, it's like God put a lot of people around me that the Chris you see now is the reason why. Because He put a little bit of everything that I need.
He seasoned you up real good.
So I'm able to sit here and talk and be transparent and be vulnerable, you know, and open up. And I love it, man.
I love it too. Because it's needed. When I say it's needed, there are so many. I want to say it was Les Brown who says it. If the richest place in the world is the graveyard, because there are so many people who die and take with them their gifts, their talents, their untold stories that can bring healing to the next person, or not. You know, you mentioned your mom passed at the age of 25 years old. All of the unspoken stories that she could, you know, she could have told and shared, not just with you, but even with the, you know, with the kiddos and so on. So when you think about stuff like that, it makes you put yourself in a position on, like, is my life what I'm really living right now? Is it really real? And like, what is really truly attached to me that I'm not aware of? Or what it is that I am, but I'm not able to recognize it and see it, you know, for what it is. So with us being able to share our heart and being transparent, not just with our kids and with our family, but also too with the world. is to say, like, if God can do this thing for me,
yeah,
He can do it for you. If He can take this little chocolate girl
right,
from Florence Street and
right,
San
right,
and all my stuff
yeah,
and put me up where I'm at right now.
Where you at right now? I look at that.
I be looking. Yeah, you did that for me, but
and,
He's so sovereign in all
he
His ways.
And He'll put people in your life. And I just wanted to give a shout out to Miss James Etta and her husband, Mr. Byron. They doing the election season. I mean, I met some great people, man. Yeah. And they're older. I love older people.
Me too.
I remember wisdom.
I love prime time. They be like, I love prime time.
Yeah. So during the election, she was more of a motherly figure to me. You know, like every time we go and sit down, she cooked. She have, you want to eat? What you want? You ate today? So I never had that. So my grandmother passed away when I was in the 4th grade. Yeah. So I never had a grandmother. Oh. So I'm going, like I said, I've been through a lot. Never had grandparents. Mom died early. Dad was never there. He died. So it was like, I never got the experience of a complete family, you know. So, but God put people in my life. But she was always cooking. And when me and Golden got married, I asked her to stand in place of my mom. And that touched her, you know. She was just crying. And, and but it's like, it was the unconditional love she showed me. And she knew me, you know, from the political wise. So when they was attacking me, I was on the news for this, you know. I would go to her house, she would just cover me. Like a mother would cover her son. And I forever love her for that. Her and Mr. Byron. So that's why I just want to shout out Ms. James and Mr. Byron. You know, they're great individuals, and they're just a loving couple, you know, and they invite us all the time, you know. So it was an honor just to have her to stand in place of my mom at my wedding. You know, it's like she was crying, but I was like, just to have her there. A wreck
on the inside.
And then to have her, the Brian, standing as my father, you know, which he really is. I call him Pops because he's that father figure to me, you know. And that's going to always be, because during my tough times and from 2018 to even now, you know, he's been that stern, hey, I'm going to check you. I'm going to tell you, well, you know what, son? When he hit me with that, well, you know what, son?
Oh, it's about to be a conversation.
But we go sit out on the back, and all I see is, you right, yes, sir.
Yeah, I love. Let me tell you, I know this to be true because, you know, even in my upbringing, my elders, they were like really elders, so they wasn't really able to pour in the wisdom. Getting to Destiny, we had an event in October, and I'm being transparent on it, okay? But, you know, I had started to lose some weight, so my clothes wasn't fitting like I would need to. So one of my aunties, because after this, she was my auntie, she comes and she goes like right here, because like the lining of my underwear, like you could see it. And she was like, baby, we got to fix that real quick. I'm like, thank you, auntie, for looking out for me. Do you know she took her slip off and gave it to me to go put it on? Most people be like, what? I'm like, no, you don't understand.
That's love. Man.
I've never had an auntie look out for me like that.
Yeah, that's why I love this. Man.
I was like, you gave me your slip. It's like, I'm like, you don't understand what you just did for me, because anybody else just would have took it, talked about it, or whatever. But the fact that she pulled me on the side, come on, baby, we gotta get you together. We gotta fix this, because you're not about to walk around looking whatever and not taking it in like an offensive kind of way, or like who you think you is. But no, babe, I understand you've been losing some weight. Together. Took me in the bathroom and gave me her slip.
Here you go.
That ain't love.
That's love,
that's
man.
That's love.
Listen.
So I know what you're saying to be true. It is true. And I'm like, oh, you auntie now.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
I'm like, you is my auntie now. But I just love it. And mainly, too, when you come from a place, because my family is my family. They have always given love, but not that type of intentional look out for me. Make sure I'm covered. Make sure I'm good. You know what I mean? Kind of love. Like, that's a different type of feeling. And it's something I've always wanted. So now when I get it, I'm like a kid in the candy store.
And shout out Aunt Linda, man. I call her Aunt Linda Green. Aunt Linda Green, as Elder Paul Green's wife, I always thank her for showing me unconditional love.
Oh, she does.
Unconditional. And you know what she tell me? I wouldn't do it no other way.
And she wouldn't.
And it's like, no matter what I've been through, from the talk about to me doing wrong, I did, to walking through my seasons, I always was greeted and I always was handled with love.
The same.
Unconditional. Like, baby, come on here. Yeah, I know.
Come on, sugar.
You something wrong with you, crazy, but I love you. I'm gonna love you, right?
Okay, well, they call you too.
I love you. Yeah, so shout out to you, Layland. I definitely appreciate and I value the unconditional love you have shown me through the years. So I love you for that.
And it's felt.
So that's why whenever she cooks, I tip her more than what. For real, because I feel like if you're family, you're supposed to support.
You're supposed to.
So anybody that I know, I tip more than what their what the cost is. That's just my love. Yeah, I definitely do. So if whenever she cooks, I just look out for Linda because she will do some baked chicken and smothered over and do this stuff straight from and then pies. Lord have mercy.
I'm trying to get get them to kind of give me some vegan options.
Yeah.
Like, now y'all know I can't eat that.
Right.
But let me tell you, we did, I want to say it was couples night.
And
D'Amica, she did me some vegan option food.
For real?
But there's some others in the church that they don't eat meat.
Yeah.
So it was like an alternative option for us to have. But the fact of how they thought about me.
Yes, of course, man. We have a standard in this.
I'm just like, you thought about me. Because anywhere else is like, oh, well, see what you can eat. But the fact that you were so intentional and you thought about me. It was like, oh, what Joe will be able to eat? Like, you had me on your mind and your heart. That was so rewarding to me.
Yeah, and being in that the family that we have at this, it's great to have.
I love it.
Every church, disclaimer, every church has its problems. Every church has its issues.
Right.
But I've heard from a pastor that said, you can't jump from church to church, man. That's like, if you find a church that is great, is phenomenal, is giving you the word, getting you closer to God, and hold you accountable, like, stay there. You're not going to be perfect, and most of the time it's you anyway, so don't figure out a excuse to run to another church because you're going to go do the same thing because you haven't addressed the issue, which is you. So address you and get yourself together, go to that good altar and ask God to forgive you. Don't worry about what the people behind you is doing or looking at. Worry about you. Get to that altar and just release it. Yeah. And I guarantee you go through the fire with your church, man.
And you better go through it because it feel like we've been there forever.
Right.
But it will be 2 years.
For real? Yeah, I've been there 11 years.
It's 2 years that me and Terrence have been there. Yeah. And I'm like, why am I like forever?
Right.
I was talking to PA, Pastor Alex, and I'm like, I'm still new here, huh? It seems like you've been here like 5 years.
Right.
I'm like, I know it seems like it. But just the embrace, like we have never felt the embrace, the overwhelming, powerful embrace. Yeah. Not just for us, but even with our kids. So that's why I say I know everything that you say to be true from proven experience for myself and even with the kids. So with us talking about unconditional love, what advice can you give to anyone who is listening or viewing in their healing journey and who maybe don't have an understanding of what unconditional love may be while they're in their process?
So I'm going to start with husbands. My advice to the husband would be, you're not perfect. So your wife has to love you probably more unconditionally than we have to love them. So have a lot of grace whenever your wife does something, and if she is freely submitting to you, that's unconditional love all in itself. So if she is freely submitting to you and submitted to you, have enough grace and unconditional love to cover them whenever they're not at their best, because it will mean a lot to them. This is speaking from experience. It means a lot, and women likes to be reassured. So just reassuring that you have that unconditional love for them, and it doesn't happen overnight. But ask your wife, like, how do you want to be loved? How should I love you? Like, teach me. Don't be so prideful the way I just want to be loved. But that's more about going in depth of really knowing your wife. And for the wives, I just bear with us. We gonna come around, but nah, just continue loving your husbands in a way that he has never experienced unconditional love before. That would be my advice, because the way you love your husband unconditionally, it mentally does something to him, to where he lets all of his guards down. He's so vulnerable to you, and he can trust you. It's like he can just lay in your shoulder and just pour out because he trusts you. Do not give him a reason to not trust you, because once you do that, it's kind of that unconditional love would have to kick in. Otherwise, being it so easy to give. So, and for the children, I would say your parents sometimes are wrong. They make mistakes. But they're showing you love no matter what. From the arguments to the fussing to the correction, they love you no matter what. So just think about, it's a child out there right now that doesn't know how to have what you have. And so your parents mean you well. They will not do nothing to intentionally harm you. So when they mess up, show them love unconditionally. Don't have a condition on your love to where they have to buy it from you, because that's not going to go far whenever you grow up. So always take the wisdom from your parents, and they will mess up, but continue to love them, because they have loved you through things that you don't even know about, and they do not hold it against you. So children, just continue to show them honor, and just be patient with us, because we are parenting in a world where parents are non-existent, and the world tries to take away parenting because they want the world to parent you, which is the children. So be patient with us. We're adjusting, because y'all wouldn't have made it with us when we was growing up. So be patient with us. But on a serious note, just know, as parents, we love you kids. We would never do nothing to harm you. And we want to see you exceed and be the best, not better than us. This is not a competition to be better than us, but we will put you in a position to be better than us, if that makes sense. So just trust us. And just for the world, man, if we would start loving each other in a way that's different, putting aside our differences and showing love, I think love will cover a lot. Love will reconcile a lot. Love will it would just change people's hearts. And just being sincere with it, just don't say you love me and you does things to me on the side, so that would be my advice to the world, man. Just start. When I say the world, I mean our cities, our leaders, like, just with the wars going on, man. It's like, what would you think would deter that if they would have handled that with love? And I know it's just only God can do, but I'm just just putting it out there. Let's start locally with loving each other. Like, just think, like, the young man that just got killed in Cancro. Just think if they would have chose to love each other through whatever that situation was. Like, what would that have looked like? Now you have families that's grieving from both sides now. Young men, young black men. And it's like, just think if there's choose love. That's why I'm so passionate about the way I dress, because I want to be relatable to these youngsters. Because it's cool to be what I'm doing. It's cool to be me. It's cool to be on, like, in a political view. It's cool to be in church. That's why I dress the way I do, because too many of our youngsters are losing their lives and being raised by rappers in this world. And they don't see enough real stand-up black men that to show them, man, look, man, he dressed like me, man. Look, it's no different. Just what y'all went through, I went through, but I chose to allow God in my process to deter me from going to jail. Because the things that I've done in the past, I have every right to have me in jail. But I thank God for His grace and mercy and His unconditional love.
Oh my God.
So if God gave it to you, please give it to the next person. And do it wholeheartedly. Don't do it with a condition. Do it wholeheartedly. Don't expect nothing back. And just pray that God handles whoever you're extending that unconditional love to, because I believe one day you will need that same unconditional love.
Oh yeah, and I believe it. One of the things I tell the kids all the time is that there's no way you can go out into the world and change it if it don't first start at home. Everything starts at home, and when you do it in the house, then it pours into the community, and from the community it pours into the nations, and from the nations then it goes out into the world. But it all starts back at home. So you gave us you gave us some stuff.
Yeah, this is me in a whole nother life. And I'm glad you get to see me in this life.
Yeah, I love it.
You learn a different Chris.
Yeah,
you know?
I love it. I'm here. Let me tell you, I'm here for because I understand. It's all about our choices.
Yes, it is.
And we won't always make the right choices.
Right.
We will not. Even if we go back to our day 10.
Yeah. We won't.
You know, Hosea, his wife, she went make some choices, and he could have given up on her, just like how God had every reason to give up on us.
Right.
But it's because of His sovereignty and because of His unconditional agape love for us. Just like how we have been able to see their marriage be redeemed. God is just wanting the exact same thing for us. So I pray that all of the listeners and everyone it is who viewed, that you took something from this conversation. Unconditional love. It is a choice, but it's something it is that we all have whenever we choose to act upon it and to operate in it and function in it, regardless of whatever it is that may be going on around us. So, Chris, how can everybody find you?
Well, I'm on Facebook. You can follow me at every social media site. It's Christopher George Sr. I did every social media site like that, just to make it easy. I'm not with underscore. There's underscore on Instagram, but you can find me if you type in Christopher George Sr. on every except what that is, Snapchat. I don't do Snapchat, but every other thing I'm on it. You can find that, and I'm gonna do everything is inspirational about me. I don't do gossip. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that. I don't share nothing on my page. I'm very professional on my page. So if you're looking for enlightenment, inspiration, come to my page. I did a 21-day prayer and fast when we did it in January. I just started posting things on my page with prayers. Because people need that. So, and I've reached a lot of people. So you never know what your gift is. To do with people. So y'all can reach me on that. So come get inspired. This is not the first time we're gonna be linking up. So we're gonna be coming back.
We gotta get you back on here.
So
So we're gonna make sure to get all of Chris his social media handle, and it's gonna be attached inside of the link in the descriptions. But thank you, my brother, for coming and sit and have a conversation with us. So I pray that all of you were able to pull something from this. Unconditional love, it is a choice. We all can choose it. When we wake up to love on our minds, and we can have a lovely, lovely day. So until next time, all go and live an uncomfortable, comfortable.